guys, it's Jessie V. Okay, let me just tell you, I have had a very crazy weekend. Not that my life usually isn't crazy, but this past weekend was definitely worth a story time. By the way, do you like my shiny shirt? It's probably really reflecting in the ring light right now. Do I look like a star? Hopefully that won't bother people. I don't know. So, for those of you that follow me on Twitter, you probably saw my tweets about how I had to call the cops. This is actually the second time in the past few months that I've had to do that. The cops probably know me by name by now. Next time I call, they're gonna be like,
"Really, Jessie? What happened this time? Can you just not stay out of trouble?"
So I am just gonna get into the story. This all happened on Saturday, and yeah, let's start from the beginning, shall we? Because I had a really long day on Saturday. Like, I did a million things on Saturday, so I have to tell you. So it was my guy friend's birthday, and he decided that he wanted to go to dinner and then bowling. And I hadn't gone bowling since I was like 10 years old, and all I could remember is how much I hated it, because whenever I went to throw the ball, I wouldn't let go, so I'd be like holding the ball and I'd go to throw it and my fingers would just stay inside of it and I'd just be tossed along with it like a complete faceplant on the floor. It was like my bowling ball would go everywhere but where it was supposed to go. Into the gutter. I'd drop it on my foot, I'd throw it behind me. Those pins would just never be knocked over. And if even one pin was knocked over, that would be just a miracle. That's probably happened like once in my life. Oh, and can we just pause for a moment here? I know this is like super random, but is it just me, or do bowling pins look like those seagulls from Finding Nemo? Like, come on, am I right? They're just like exactly the same. That's all I think about whenever I go bowling. But anyways, my boyfriend, me, and 3 other guys went to dinner first. And you know those restaurants that have the paper instead of a tablecloth? Yeah, I love those places because they give you crayons so you can draw while you're waiting for your dinner. It makes time go by that much faster. I'm honestly like 7 deep down inside. If you give me paper and crayons, I cannot resist. I will draw everywhere. I actually ended up drawing all of our portraits on the table with actually lots of detail as well. I released my inner Van Gogh, although he was a bit crazy, wasn't he? He totally cut his ear off. So when our waiter came around, he was like,
"You drew portraits? What do you think this place is? The Museum of Modern Art?"
That is a museum in New York City, by the way. A really nice one too. So anyways, we finished our dinner and then we head to the bowling alley. And we actually got lost on the way there because we could not for the life of us remember where it was. Even with the navigator turned on, we had no idea where we were going. It took us like an extra 20 minutes to get there. So we finally did, and I was pretty surprised at how run down it was. I mean, it was still open and there were still lots of people there, but when I was younger and I went bowling at this place, it was so like new and pretty, and 12 years later it looks a little bit scary. And guess what, guys? I thought that when we got there I would just suck at bowling just like I did when I was a child, but I was completely wrong. I beat every single one of the guys. I won. I mean, if that doesn't show you that you should never underestimate yourself, I don't know what does. If you want to be a great bowler, you can be a great bowler. What a weird goal. Imagine that for like a New Year's resolution.
This year, I want to be the best bowler ever.
The only thing that sucked while I was bowling is that my nail broke, and I know that's such a first world problem and is a really stupid thing to be upset about, but the thing is, I had just gotten my nails done the day before we went bowling, and you know, nails aren't that, you know, cheap to get done, so I was like, no, why nail? Why did you let me down? Like, just the minute I put my fingers into the ball holes, what are those things called that you put your fingers into? Ball holes. Okay, I'm just gonna get on to the next part. Oh wait, no, oh my gosh, so at this bowling place, I actually met one of you guys. I met a V team member at this bowling place. I was so excited. Isn't that like, the world is so small, right? Like, I can meet any one of you guys at the most random, rundown places. Maybe tomorrow I'll be in an alleyway and I'll meet one of you guys and I'll be like, oh my gosh, you guys are everywhere. I love you. So anyways, I should really get to the part where the crazy guy comes in. I always do this thing where I talk for so long before the actual story. I don't know why, that's just the way I tell stories. So the crazy guy doesn't come in at the bowling alley. He actually comes in a bit later. So we all head back to my house and we're sitting around a table just playing some card games because we're just so cool. And then we all decide that we want to go to a bar. Because it's a Saturday night, we want to go out and have some fun, you know? And I know that I made a story time about a bar last month, so by now you guys are probably thinking that bars and Jessie just don't match up. Jessie should not go to bars. Do you like my hand movements? And yes, you're probably right in thinking that. I probably don't mix well with bars. Here is another example why, but I thought I'd just tell you the story anyways because stupid Jessie doesn't learn her lesson. So we get a few more people together. Actually, my sister is with us as well, and we all head to the bar. Everything is going fine for the first 2 hours or so. The only thing that was a bit strange was this one point in the night where my friend and I went onto the dance floor, and there was this really weird drunk guy that went to the very center of the dance floor and told everybody to get off. Like, he literally said, like,
Everybody off the dance floor. This is my dance floor. I am the only one allowed to dance here.
like he was actually pushing girls out of the way, including my friend. Thank goodness he didn't push me because I would have been very, very angry. Like, how drunk do you have to be to do that? Imagine him going home and sleeping and waking up the next morning, not remember anything, and he looks to his friends like, what did I do last night? And they're like,
Yeah, buddy. You kind of pushed everybody off the dance floor. It was weird.
but yeah, that guy was actually not the crazy guy that I'm talking about. He was just another crazy guy that happened before the major crazy guy. So anyways, around like 1 in the morning, my friends and I decide that we want to just go home because people in the bar are getting like really rowdy and loud and just really, really drunk, and like I don't really like being around that. So then why, Jessie, would you go to a bar? I don't know. But we all decided to just leave. So we head into the parking lot to catch a cab, and we're all just standing there just kind of waiting when we hear this noise. We look over to see this car that's parked in the handicap spot, and they're okay to be there because they have that little handicap sign in the front of their car, so all was good with that. That wasn't the problem. The problem was that there was a man standing right beside this car who was like swearing and talking to himself. He was just really angry and literally talking to himself like no one else was around him. And then he starts putting his hand on the car and trying to open the door. Like, he's really trying to open the door and it just won't open because the car is locked. He then takes it to the next level, grabs the car antenna, breaks it in half, and then starts smacking it against the glass of the door. Guys, he was trying to break the glass window with a car antenna. So we're all standing there watching this and we realize, oh my goodness, this guy is trying to steal someone's car. He is trying to break into this car. And in a handicap spot, really, dude, you had to pick that one? So my friend gets like really, really mad because she's one of those people who really like to deal with the situation verbally. And gosh, I really love her, but she made me so nervous because she just starts yelling at this guy. She says things like,
Really, dude? Really? You're gonna steal a car right now? Right in front of us? Really?
and then she starts walking right up to him. And I grab her arm and I'm like, no, you can't just walk up to a crazy person. What if he has a weapon? Like, what if he's dangerous? You don't know. One does not just approach a crazy person breaking into a car. That's just not what one does. So because we know we can't handle this ourselves, we decide to run back into the bar to tell security. Because security's job is to deal with the situation. And oh my gosh, guys, this made me so mad because we told security what was going on because it was on their property, and security did not want to do anything. They did not care at all. They were like,
Well, it's not our problem. If it's not in the bar, we can't do anything about it.
and we're like, sir, it's your parking lot. It's the parking lot of the bar. And they were like,
Well, we can't do anything about it. Deal with it yourself.
they told us to literally deal with it ourselves. Like, what if we got into a huge issue and like got hurt or something? Would the bar not be responsible for that? I don't know. But they were useless people. So I just tell everybody that we should just call the cops. So we're on the phone with the cops and we walk back outside into the parking lot to try to get a picture of this guy stealing the car, just in case he got away with it and we had to show the police. So we go out and this guy is still hitting the car with the antenna, but it's just not breaking anything. I don't know if he's not using enough force or like what, but he gets really angry and puts both hands on the top of the car and starts shaking it like he was like just screaming. Like, he looked like George of the Jungle. steal. Like, he definitely lost his marbles. There was not one marble left in his brain, okay? So then he takes off his shoe, lifts it up, and smacks it on the window one more time, and I guess this time it was hard enough because the glass broke. He crawled inside the car and started the car up, and I don't know how people steal cars. Like, I'm just not educated in that, but somehow he started the car. Is it like hot wiring or something? I don't know. I don't know the terms. I don't know how they do it. I am not a professional car stealer, and oh my gosh, this guy presses on the gas so hard and just bolts it right out of the parking lot. Like, he went so fast that there was just fumes and smoke all over the parking lot. He probably killed those tires. And then he turns out of the parking lot onto the main road so fast, like his turn was so fast that the car actually like spun. And then he just drove off down the road, like probably going like 300 kilometers per hour. I wasn't able to get a picture of him on time because we were too far away, but thank goodness Kyle ran up and actually saw his license plate number, so he wrote that down in his phone, and that way we were able to tell it to the police. And then in like a matter of 2 minutes, we saw like 3 police cars just speeding down the road after him. It was a major car chase. And yeah, I honestly really hope they caught that crazy man because he was definitely very drunk, very crazy, and stole a car in the handicap parking spot, so he has some serious issues, and I hope the police catch him. I have never witnessed someone steal a car right in front of me, so while this was happening, I was like, oh my gosh, I definitely have to make this a story time because that's exactly where my mind goes. Does my crazy life never end? I don't think so. This is why I will always have non-stop stories for you guys. Anyways though guys, that is the end of my story. That was what happened on this crazy past weekend. Just in case you guys did not know, I am having a meet and greet theater show in Brampton, Ontario, so if any of my lovely subscribers are in Ontario, Canada, I will put the link for the tickets in my description box for you. And yeah, as usual guys, my social media information is below, along with my vlog channel and my PO box information, so check that out. And until next time guys, bye!